Hey, Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Kakwadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles of GMS that ruleth well. And been laboring for years. Peace, blessings, salutations to the Akim, to the Akim, Salaki to the Akwaf, and to the Israelite foreigners that are scattered. Us being prisoners of war, waiting patiently for the return of our Lord to throw down our enemy Esau, the small hats, and Amalek. This video you see here is a chick from Philly. I'm going to play a little snippet, Lord, as well. It doesn't get cut. But this was sent to me from a brother. And it's crazy because, I was not too long I was with the brothers from Philly. It was just speaking about a little bit of things where you see amongst Jake and why you hate the 2/3 and why the 2/3 have to go. And Jake has to be heal from himself. So I'm gonna, before I open up the video, I'm gonna read this. It says Sirach 26 and 23. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. And this chick you see right here is known for setting Jake up to be murdered and slaughtered. And I remember even back in the 90s, the grimy 90s, a lot of this was going on with the so-called black women, so-called Latino women, so-called Hispanic women, and Benjamin women and more, so-called West Indian women and more. The 2000s, and I can imagine even now, this knowing chicks that used to, be on the block, and they used to be in a circle. You would hear them, it's a lot, man, but I'm gonna let this clip play for like 2 minutes, and I'm gonna come back.
No nigga, never been around nigga, never chill with him. Don't have no worry about the bottom, nothing. How would I do anything?
Facts though. So like you more so like running with the biz since they kinda like putting that name on you and shit.
You got troll the trolls at the end of the day. Like they be trolling me, so I troll me.
Oh, it's a fact. It's definitely a good way to carry it. Cause you got a lot of other people in the city. You ain't really strong. They let that shit break them. They start crying and changing who they is and shit like that.
Now, as you can see, this is the engine that Esau continues to oil, fuel, and run. This is how Esau governs and run over our people through the trauma, the pain, breaking of the households. She also goes into saying she came from a single mother household, and etc. But this is the fate, and this is pretty much the life of a lot of the so-called black women here in America. The horror stories, the horror, the trauma. Let me get that real quick. What's that scripture? Damn. Putrefied souls. So, let me see. Isaiah 1 and 2. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord has spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel do not know, my people do not consider. When you go into prophecy, Jeremiah 17 and 3 or 4, it tells you that we shall discontinue from our heritage. You also have scripture in Psalms that talks about let us come together and cut them off from being a nation. And what has happened that you see right before us, due to our rebelliousness and our transgressions, the Lord has delivered us into the hands of the so-called white man. And now you're seeing the dysfunction of men and the dysfunction of our women clearly showing the sign that, there's a people out here that is cursed. And can nobody ever take that blame so bad that nobody even want to step up and grab a hold of them. Hey, our people don't even want to admit that they're underneath curses, because the pain, the trauma, the agony, what you see bestow on our people. So it says a sinful nation of people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. Yeah, and Esau fuels and extorts and puts the gas and the oil on our people to maximize gain and profit off the dysfunction of our people. There's so many ways, man, that Esau capitalizes off the dysfunction of our people. So they have forsaken the Lord, they have provoked the Holy One of Israel to anger, they are going away backward. Why should you be stricken? You will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick and the whole heart is faint. Yeah, now people are dead. And it's to the point now, it just our people's got to be destroyed. I mean, anybody that's talking about pray for this girl, pray for this chick, she needs help. Fuck all that. You're bugged out. There's nothing you can do to save this girl. There's nothing you can do to save a chick like this. She's gone. She just has to be put down. She has committed adultery. She has committed who knows? She has blood on this chick. Really has blood on her hands. And she think this is cute. You could tell that she's hurting. She's dead inside. She's an empty vessel. And this is fortunately, this is the life that we live. This is all the flesh, lust of the flesh. This is what the eyes. This is all what is driven. I'll continue to play the video, and then we'll go back to it.
I'm always gonna be big. I've been big. I'm never gonna change. I'm gonna be as blunt, outspoken, and bold as I always been.
Facts. So how was it for you coming up in Philly though? Cause this is definitely one of the, you know how the city is.
I had a horror life. I just sell drugs, all that type of shit. But then I stopped once I had kids, started doing other little shit. But Philly life is horror. It is. But I got my shit together. I'm on Chanel. Yeah, 3 kids, own crib, own car, own shit. Good credit.
Talk about that though, cause you definitely working. Hey, we gonna talk about the OnlyFans. I ain't gonna hold you. When I see you, I'm like, the Only? I'm like, damn. Real shit though, gotta respect it though.
I got the OnlyFans hustle, close friends hustle, I can see all types of shit. You name it, I get money.
So talk about that though. Just speaking up for the ladies and shit, cause coming from the city, and not just the city, just our culture is like a lot of chicks be like single moms, and they be on their grind. They be working 2-3 jobs. Like my mom was a single mom. She worked like 2 jobs and was hustling on the side just to make ends meet. So talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah, as far as my first baby father, he was not really around. He's a jailbird, so I had 2 kids by him. And I've been doing this shit. I've been thugging this shit out like 6 to 7 years. I've really been thugging this shit out since I was 15. And my first kid at 15, second at 16. So I've really been thugging this shit out by myself. Of course, I got family support, but...
You come from a single or double parent household?
I come from a single parent household.
Okay.
My mother is single. So I already know how to do shit, eat shit. I'm independent like my mother.
Real shit.
So it's like, that mom shit, it's not hard. People make it work. You gotta have patience.
And as you heard her, she's independent. The revolving cycle door that Esau has created off the dysfunction of our people. When you read the book Willie Lynch, this is what that speech that was delivered here in Virginia on the banks of the James River. This was the accusation. This was the how you say it, the stimulating thought to keep your slaves under control so you can sleep good at night. You tear the household, you destroy the father, going into Sirach, the 3rd chapter. You know, you destroy the man's image, the so-called black man's, the so-called Hispanic, Latino man's image, to the point, you know, he pretty much, you know, if he's not kicking on no bread, especially in America, you're not kicking on no bread. These bitches and nobody don't really give two shits about you. If you're not be able to be used or whatever, you know, you're not really tolerated. You just toss to the wayside, blase blase. You know, your image as a man is destroyed here in America. So these women, they don't give two shits about you. They will line you up. They will have you murdered. They will commit adultery on you, etc. And this is the engine that is turning, that is pumping, that is moving. That Esau has to be taken down for this to stop, because as long as this is happening, as long as this is in play, as long as this is full in effect, Esau makes money. So it says, why should you be stricken more? You will vote more and more. So the more punishment this bitch go through, she's just gonna get worse. That's why she has to be safe from herself and just be put down. And her, you know, it's not too far from her. From the sole of the foot even until the head, there is no soundness in it. But wounds and bruises and putrefying sores, they have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. And as you can see, she smokes weed. And who knows what else she does? She probably does cocaine. Cause I've known a lot of girls that's into their lifestyles. They do cocaine. It says, your country is desolate. Your cities are burnt with fire. Your land, strangers devoured in your presence, and it is desolate, as overthrown by strangers. And this is what has happened. Our people have been destroyed by the so-called white man. What is the lust of the eyes? So yeah, 1 John 2:16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father but of the world. There's another one I wanted to bring forth, man. I can't remember. It was right there. Damn. Verse 17. The world passeth away and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of Yahweh abideth forever. So again, until the so-called white man gets taken out of power, the things that you see in front of you will always be in effect. You know, the true peace is when Esau gets taken out of power. Let me get that real quick. Bear with me one moment. Psalms 64. Starting at verse 5. Now, matter of fact, I'm going to start at 1. Psalm 64:1. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. Hear my voice, O power, and my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Yeah, you know, because Esau, what he has done, you know, he creates mass trauma. He creates, you know, pain, terror, gnashing of teeth, agony, pain, suffering, oppression, drugs, you know, destroys. I mean, man, if you've been to places like New York, Jersey, Chicago, I've never been there, but, you know, I've been on the East Coast pretty much my whole life. And, you know, when you just, you know, again, everybody knows, you know, what's going on, you know. It's kids out there that starts at the age of 10, smuggling drugs, 11, 12. These girls are being turned out at 12, 11, you know, giving, you know, blowjobs, and get in you know, in the Brooklyn basements. You know, people that know, they know what goes on in those, you know, the basements, especially back in those 90s, man, the 2000s. You know, these girls start off young. You know, they be in those streets, man. Their mothers are, you know, out there. They're out there. You know, there's no, you know, correction. You know, Esau. You know, the matriarchy that Esau has pumping, you know, was in the cities, man. A lot of fuckery and pain and trauma has come through. You know, the drugs, the murdering, the shootings, the crackheads, the everything, the car robbery, the fights, the shootouts. It's, you know, dysfunction, backbiting, stealing, everything, you know, everything you name it, man. You know, then they put the icing on the cake. They ice it off with the rap music to glorify that bullshit. Then they got the prison systems for our people, and then they give you know, Section 8 to the girls like her, so it can make, you know, she's so broken and empty inside. What she does, she thinks she's doing something, but really she's on assistance. She's pretty much, she sets her cap value to depend on a fucking check, depend on some food stamps, and depend on the SSI check, which is roughly around $600. I don't know if they went up any, but you know, you have, it's all a fucking game. So it says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. And you know, these Edomites, man, this is what they do. They wake up and they practice and they pray to Satan on the left hand, you know, pray to Satan on the left hand side, you know, how to bring down witchcraft and sorcery and, you know, dysfunction to come down upon Israel, the children of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanic, Native Americans, who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, you know, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. We are the perfect, you know, Israel. But unfortunately, 2/3 have been caught up in the mix. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. Verse 5, and they curve themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? Because remember, with Freeway Ricky Ross, and then you had those Edomites that came out. Hey, they silenced them. But, you know, it's so much more that these devils have done. You know, Margaret Sanger, you know, Christopher Columbus. You know, you got Stink stealing right around the corner. It's just so much that this devil has done privately. I mean, it's you know, we go into the things that we come across and stumble across, but how much of things that we haven't, you know, stumbled across, or the things that they got hidden. You know, there's Edomites out there now that have seen and have heard the meetings and been in those meetings, been in those boards, been in them underground bunkers, that has sat down and heard face to face with his ears the devastation and the fuckery and the atrocity that they have coming down the pipe for our people, you so-called Negro, Latino, Hispanic, Native Americans, the, you know, the witchcraft, etc. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. You know, hey, so they devise very strategic. Just like I believe they just contributed a couple millions just for fucking more proof that, basically more defense that no outdoor cyborg, etc., can pick up or hear them when they talk about these deep, you know, meetings. But Yahweh shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their tongue to fall upon them, so all that I see them shall flee away. And that's what you're seeing. You know, a lot of these Edomites are coming out talking about, you know, the atrocity that they've done to our people. And again, man, you know, when you just, and there's another video of this chick. Had it up, but you know, my point is, man, this dysfunction. This is why the apostles, it is very, and I behoove brothers, you know, as well. If possible, do not deal with that nigger woman until all hell break loose. You know, and the Lord prepares the few so-called black women that he will redeem, you know, allow him to guide her unto you. But as far as going out there, just out and about, you know, these women are fucking through this. Starting with the so-called black woman. The so-called black woman has become evil, wicked, cruel. How you say? She's not natural. She's emotionless. My point, Slakia, not she. What's that word? She's empty. She is just a shell. It's just a vessel. There's nothing in her but to do evil. There's one more I wanted to. Let me see. Damn. Yeah, it went away. Damn. I can't even think about it. That's pretty much it, man. I'm going to wrap this video up. I'm going to go ahead and lay it down. Gonna wake up early for the plantation. But you know, those well, you know, you was edified through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah. And again, man, you know, the nigga woman, this is the nigga woman here in America. She's treacherous, man. Take heed. Shalom.